apply loss aversion strategy to increase your conversion rate instantly. This video, I'm going to teach you what loss aversion is, and I'm also going to give you 6 examples of big brands using loss aversion to increase their conversion rates. Loss aversion is the fact that humans have evolved to fear losing something to a much higher degree than they desire gaining something they do not already have. And this has been proven through scientific experiments and brain imaging studies, showing that it's not just a socially trained behavior, it's actually something which is genetically given to us in our neurology. You can think of it similar to how cats fear cucumbers. It's something which is programmed within their brain. You can compare it to FOMO, fear of missing out. We fear missing out on things which we do not have or have not experienced. But this is FOL, fear of loss, which weighs deeper than FOMO. In summary, fear of loss is a stronger predictor of human behavior than FOMO or benefits or gaining something. The fear of losing will outweigh them, which makes it a stronger predictor of human behavior. You might think that this sounds pretty easy to understand, and you're right, but it's very hard to apply in practice. Now let's move on to the first example. Now real quick, before the examples, you have to know the 2 types of fear of loss. We have FOL, fear of loss barriers, and we have FOL motivators. The barriers are a sense of fear that they already have when they come to your website, and these need to be removed by you through sections and elements on your website, and the barriers stops users from making a purchase. The primary barrier of fear of loss is the fear of losing money. When people get on your website, they will have skepticism because they fear that the product might not work as you tell them it will work. There might be a problem with delivery, extra costs, and they do not know if your customer service is good. And this makes them feel a skepticism and a sense of fear that they might lose their money on your website. So this is the barrier you have to overcome with elements and sections. Now onto the motivators, which is the second type of fear of loss. The motivators are a sense of loss which motivates the customer to take an action on your website and to purchase. But the difference is that when they arrive on your website, they do not have the fear of loss motivators. They are pre-programmed with the barrier, which you have to overcome and remove, and you have to add the motivators. And the 2 primary fear of loss motivators which you have to instill are 1, fear of losing the promised benefits. And the way you achieve this fear of loss motivator is through making them feel as if they already own the product in some way. You have to talk in the past sense or in the present, that not when they get the product, but when they have it, because that creates a sense of distance to the product. And also shipping times, they have to know the shipping will be quick and delivered and sure, which makes them feel closer to the product, and then also closer to the product promised benefits. So essentially overwhelm them with the feeling of benefits, but talk to them as if they already have these benefits. This is also an excellent fear of loss motivator, because if you give people the feeling that they have an offer from you, which they are not sure they can keep, they cannot maybe come in next week and still have that offer, then you are essentially giving them something when they arrive on your website, which they feel like they will lose if they leave. Some ways of creating fear of loss from losing a good deal might be freebies, like free additional products which they feel they have gained. Because if you tell someone they get something for free, then they feel like they already have it. This also applies to free shipping, and also if you have a pop-up on the website with an offer, because they don't know how long that offer lasts or if they can keep that discount code until next time, etc. And one more is, of course, if you have a time-sensitive offer, because then you give them the fear of losing out on the good offer with a very high sense of urgency, which amplifies the sense of fear of loss. Now that you're aware of what it is and the 2 different types of fear of loss, let's get into the first example. To make this even more actionable for you, I will rate all the examples on 3 different aspects. I will rate them on the fear of losing money, which is a barrier. I will rate them on the fear of losing out on the promised benefits, which is a motivator. And I will rate them on the fear of losing out on a good deal. The first example here is woofs. And what really sticks out here to begin with is the fear of losing out on the benefits, because this is oriented towards dog owners. And when you have that second layer with buying something for something people care deeply about, then the perceived sense of losing out on the benefits is not on behalf of them, but on behalf of the dog, which adds a multiple because you can rationalize your own well-being, but it's harder to take compromises on someone else's or your dog's well-being. So they start here with this section, which illustrates that the product helps reduce occasional discomfort, promotes healthy inflammatory pathways, and helps maintain mobility. And also for the images here, they have an image showing that 99% saw improvements in mobility in 3 months. Moving on the sense of missing out on benefits, they have this statistics section here. 99% saw improved mobility in 3 months, 99% saw reduced joint discomfort in 3 months. And this is huge because then it makes you wonder if your dog is actually experiencing joint discomfort, which you really don't want. So now already you're starting to get a sense that if you back out on the website and don't purchase, then you will leave your dog with the opposite of the benefits, which is the joint immobility and the discomfort. The next benefit section, 80% of dogs over 8 have joint problems. So this again reinforces the fact that your dog is probably having joint problems if it's an older dog. And they throw in a little trigger with act now, which basically is guilt tripping you, because if you don't act now, then you have surrendered your dog to these problems. And then this one is really impactful. They are showing dogs' transformations, where you will see a lot of healthy dogs which now are old but have the time of their lives, active, well-being, which makes you think that this should be the case for your dog too. So yeah, that's the main benefit sections, which instills a fear of losing out on the benefits. On this aspect, I will rate Woofs very high on how well they are able to make you feel like you're doing your dog a disservice by not buying the product and by losing out on the benefits. So I will place this ranking for Woofs very high. For the fear of losing out on a good deal, I'll rate them in the middle, because they do have this section here which displays savings and you perceive that you are getting a deal. And in addition to this, in the cart, they have this free joint health guide with a $19.99 price tag for free, which does amplify the perceived value of the offer. But I would say the fear of losing out on a good deal on Woofs is average. Now for the fear of loss barrier, which is the fear of losing money. How low can you get this? So it's the opposite for the barrier. In the motivators, it's good to have a high fear of losing out on the motivators, on losing out on the benefits and on the offer. But for the barrier, which they already have when they come in your store, you want that reduced. You want to remove it as much as possible. So low is a good score. 3 very key parts. It's the 90-day money-back guarantee under the add to cart or inside. This already makes me feel less fear because, okay, at least they have some sort of money-back guarantee, which they give me immediately when I see the price, which is a bit important because you don't want to just serve them the price. You want to serve them the price together with removing the fear of losing money. Because as you see in the top, they do not state the price explicitly. You have to scroll down to see the money-back guarantee and the delivery time to see the actual price, which is genius. This is very good. And this is basically just the anchoring effect in play. You want to anchor the price together with risk reversion. If you just anchor it price face value before they have seen the benefits, before they have seen your guarantees, delivery time, then you're just creating an inflated sense of price because the price is not being multiplied by your ability to reduce the sense of risk. And as I mentioned, the second part here is the delivery time estimate. They have immediately under the 90-day money-back guarantee and the price, they have ordered today and it will arrive 2 days from now. And this makes the distance I feel to the product much smaller, which is excellent. If you have vague delivery estimates or long delivery estimates, then this really ruins the fear of loss. Because if you perceive a great distance mentally between you and the product, then it will be harder for you to imagine yourself with the product in hand. Because if they feel like the product is right there or almost in their hand, that they already have it, then this will make them more afraid to lose it, which is the fear of losing out on the benefits. But when we come down to this part, which is an elaboration on their money-back guarantee, I don't really like this angle that they focus on how many claim the money-back guarantee. Essentially, what you want the visitor to do is you want to remove as much of the feelings they have of skepticism. And it's all really about how the customer is feeling. And you can help them focus on the good things, or you can amplify their skepticism by telling them things which are negative. And here, it is a positive. That's the very few which returns, but it is still focusing on the returns. Now I have a fact in my head, which is, okay, less than 1% claim the money-back guarantee. But I do think it's better to focus on the satisfaction and the benefits received instead of people actually claiming the money back guarantee. So I would much rather say 99.9% of customers love the product and the dog is healthier than ever than actually saying that some people return the product, even though that's the fact. For the fear of losing out on money, which is the FOL barrier, it does really help with social proof and authority to show that you are actually not being scammed, like on a subconscious level, that you feel very safe because so many other people have tried it before you and so many other people use this product and love it. So this does decrease the fear of losing money, which is good. And they do have some good sections on that here with the examples, the transformations of the dogs, and on the reviews at the bottom, and just the general legitimacy of the website. So for the total score on the barrier of fear of losing money, how well they are able to reduce that barrier, I'll rate them in the middle, pretty average. The second example is Snow Teeth Whitening. This is the current landing page they are running in their ads. And let's begin with the fear of losing money, the barrier. They start the landing page with a very clear social proof statement from Trustpilot, which is very affirming. And then they have a 60 days guarantee, 2 years warranty, which is, it helps, but these are not very big or clear. But to make up for that, if we go further down, they do have this section here, which is, this is very good. I'm not saying that having those small under the add to cart button is bad. In combination with this section, it's actually very good because you mention it longer up, but when you get more down and have more interest in the benefits, then they show you a section which lowers your fear of loss barrier a lot. And that's this one. Better smile or your money back. This is perfect because they do not want to feel like they will have to go through like 3 support people or 2 weeks waiting time. They want to feel like if they do not get the benefit, which is what they're after, then they want to feel like there is no chance that they will lose their money. This is how you eliminate the fear of loss barrier, which is losing money. And they do a good job here because better smile or your money back is very clear, very unambiguous. And if you read the paragraph, we know there's a lot of trust that goes into buying high-end oral care products. So if you're not satisfied for any reason, simply email us for prompt and courteous refund. No questions asked. And this is great copywriting because it gives me the feeling that it's only up to me. If I like the product or if I don't like it, I can choose to keep it or get my money back. So my feeling here of how likely I am to lose my money is very low already. It's almost removed. And this is also amplified by the section here, where they are mentioned in Forbes and have a number 1 recommended electric toothbrush and helping 1 million smiles before and afters, because this takes away the only last viable part after the guarantee, which is this a legitimate brand? Because if an illegitimate brand is saying get your money back, you still don't trust the guarantee. But as long as it's legitimate and big scale and they say this so clearly in the guarantee, then you feel like, okay, there's no way I'm losing my money here. For the fear of losing money barrier, I'm rating this S tier in how well they are able to remove that barrier. Moving on to the motivators, the fear of losing out on a good deal. Let's start with that. You come to the product page, the landing page, and you immediately are presented with a really heavy bundle offer with most popular, buy 2, get 55% off. And it goes from $258 to $136. This already makes me feel like this is a very good offer. In addition to this, you have these 2 free products, which have a price tag at $14 and $32. If you pay $136 and you get $14 and $32 worth of free products, that's a really good deal. So already here now, they are building up the offer to be very good value-wise. And they are also letting you know the price per toothbrush, not the total. Here, $67.99 each, plus 2 free items worth $46, you save $168. This is excellent. They're breaking down the price into smaller chunks, as well as anchoring them towards bigger chunks, which are the previous price. So they feel like they save proportionately a lot of money on buying this. And they also amplified with add to cart and get free gifts. Buy now, save up to 50%. And then they start adding some scarcity with don't delay, only 1,000 discounted units available, which now immediately instills some fear because they have anchored the pricing, made me feel like it's a really good offer. And now they are making me feel like I can lose out on that offer, which is perfect for building the motivator. They also make it clear that you can find the same product, but at full price in retail stores, which also now makes you feel like you have to buy it here. And You should not delay it to get this at this price. If not, you will have to go to a retail store and buy it full price. And they have this timer here, which also just instills a sense of fear. They don't even make it clear what they're counting down. So this does create some uncertainty for me, which does increase my fear of losing out on the offer. So that's about it for the fear of losing a good deal. I'll rank them S tier on this as well. They have a very high fear of losing out on a good deal, which creates plenty of motivation to actually make an action here, not just read the descriptions. And for the second motivator, the fear of losing out on the promised product benefits, they do not have any sections on this at the top. But if you go further down, they have a video showing for dentist level clean every time, and they have before and afters. This is a very high impact benefit section because the before and afters here basically speak for themselves, and it's way better for them to show it like this than trying to tell it to you that, oh, I promise this toothbrush eliminates discoloring and stains. It does not compare impact wise to actually showing before and afters. And this applies generally for every product out there. So if you can, don't try to promise them and tell them what it can do, show it. Also, they keep increasing it here with this comparison section, explaining you the mechanisms of why it's so effective, which you might then think that other toothbrushes don't have the same mechanisms, even though they probably do. But just saying it here gives them a point of reference for Snow, but they don't have a point of reference for other brands. That means that now the only thing they know is that Snow has this, not that the other ones have it. So this is already an advantage. Then you have whitening, which is one of the main benefits, I'm guessing, for why people are buying this. And they're also giving you the benefit in the form of a guarantee, whiter smile or money back, which further amplifies my feeling that I will get that benefit. I will give them a B tier for the ability to make me fear losing out on the benefits, mainly because of the before and afters. They have the other sections as well, but I feel like the before and after is the most high impact one. But also because I know that Snow's marketing is very focused on the benefits, assuming that this landing page is really more for middle of funnel, where people are already problem aware and maybe even solution aware. And if that's your funnel, of course, you don't need to max out on the fear of losing out on the benefits because you already have this from the marketing. So that's simply a funnel strategy. Just for the case of rating the landing page, I will give them a B tier. But I'm guessing if I looked at the whole funnel, it would probably be an S or at least an A+ tier. Now for the third example, Space Goods Starter Kit. Let's start with the fear of losing money, which is the barrier which you have to remove. In the beginning, they have, first of all, a 60-day money-back guarantee badge here at the top of the product images, which is a good start. They have a lot of reviews here, which is good, but I do feel like this is way too small. I did not get the same feeling here as I did on Snow. This one is too small for mobile because you want the stars to weigh in and the amount to weigh in. This is not something you want them to scroll down and miss out on. So I do feel like this should be bigger. Then they have skip or cancel anytime, which is fine. Orders are typically delivered within 1 to 2 business days. I don't like this copy because it's way too ambiguous. Orders are typically delivered. Why introduce that confusion to the customer? You don't want to push them into a skeptic mindset. And if you're already here unsure yourself about your delivery times, then that is a bad thing because it makes the customer more uncertain about, okay, this is the typical delivery time, but what's my delivery time? The best here would be to use some type of geolocator and estimate delivery times according to which country or which city they are in. Then under, again, the 60-day money-back guarantee. I don't understand why it's so small, but I guess it might actually be beneficial to push the add to cart button so clearly that they're doing so. I'm not saying this is necessarily wrong. Let's just keep going. This media section gives me the feeling that at least this is a very legitimate brand together with the reviews, but I was missing those to be a bit bigger. And then they have this section here, which is a mix of a comparison section and a risk reversion section. I do like the try rainbow dust risk-free, but they follow it up with a very generic copy under, which is we offer a risk-free money-back guarantee with each order. You should address the customer directly, not state from your company's point of view. And also don't talk about their purchase as an order, because for them, it's the product, it's not the order. For the business, it's the order. But that's why it's so important to talk to the customer and not from the business. So I would rather change this to something which enforces the risk-free aspect instead of just a generic statement which says the same thing. Then they have this review section, which is very nice for the fear of losing money. In addition, they do have this returns accordion, which, first of all, returns is very boring. If you have a good money back guarantee, you should promote that instead of just labeling it as returns, because returns is negatively loaded from the customer's point of view. And if you expand it, they have the copy: we have a 60-day return policy, which means you have 60 days after receiving your item to request a return. This is really bad copy because, first of all, they are stating that they have a 60-day return policy. Secondly, they're saying, which means you have 60 days after receiving to request a return. And requesting is really bad because you're basically telling the customer that the responsibility is on them and that they have to go through a process. And it's not like they can just claim the guarantee. They have to request it. The company has to approve it. This is not a good frame for the customer. But I do want to note, considering that this is a subscription item, there might be some strategy here to try to avoid unqualified people from buying, which will mean a high return rate for them or high cancellation rate for them. But still, their product is not much worth in the actual cost of goods. So I don't think that's the case. I would understand if this is a more expensive product, because then you don't want people just to buy it to see if they like it and return. You want to disqualify the people which are very likely to return it and maybe diffuse your guarantees a little bit. But it really depends. Most times you want to make as much people convert as possible. I would rate their fear of losing money as D tier because they do not have any solid sections talking about their guarantee, actually making concise statements that the customer will get their money back. They just have these badges which say 60-day money back guarantee, but don't actually explain the customer why or how or what criteria or anything. And they do not have it in their cart either. They do have it in the top announcement, but it's very small and it's also together with a lot of other information. So what I'm missing is bigger reviews as well as some better copy when it comes to the guarantee. Let's move on to the fear of losing out on a good deal. Here, I feel like they rank a bit higher. They have in the first image free tin, free cup, free whisk, free scooper, and you are only buying the powder, but having a tin for it and a cup, these are very cheap things, but they are a very nice life improvement for the customer. Everyone likes having a new cup, and also getting powders from a bag is very bad, but having them in a tin feels like it's more of a luxury item, something you can have standing in your kitchen, which actually acts as sort of decoration. And then going further down, they have this huge discount, save 68%, where the before price is £125 and then it's 39, where they show you everything you get in the bundle, especially the free items here. And what I really love is how they anchor it in the value of these items. The mug is costing £19, the whisk costs £19, the spoon costs £14, and the pot costs £24. And if you ask me, these seem like inflated prices. I surely hope a spoon does not cost £14. But anyways, it is up to them, considering that it's their spoon. So I'm guessing if you were to buy a spoon directly from Space Goods, then it would be £14. But if you just focus on the feeling and the feeling of how good the offer is, then this is very good, because you feel like you get so much value included for just buying the powder, which is even on a discount. And it's more than 50% discount. It's 68% off. And I'm guessing this is because of the subscription. But if we go to the single pack, you see that's still a great discount, but you do not get all the free items. They mention free shipping, which is good, but again, I don't like the way they're just listing all the risk reversion in the form of bullet points. Especially when you have so many of them, because it doesn't necessarily create any big gravity around the statement. It's just another one. You want them to feel like they have some form of novelty to make them give a bigger impression on the customer. Continuing, they mention it's 2 to 3 times stronger. I guess that does boost the perceived offer a little bit, because you feel like you get more than what you actually pay for, that you are buying something for one price, but what you're getting is actually a way stronger dose than the price indicates. But again, they have it so small on mobile that they could really get more out of it by making it bigger. And then they have this benefit section, but I don't like it. It's way too repetitive, too many points, and it makes the customer need to draw too many conclusions, I feel like, because it says why thousands start their day with rainbow dust, and then they suddenly now talk from your perspective. You want to get in the zone. You want an instant burst of energy, and this is good copy. It just creates a little bit of cognitive friction here, trying to translate the meaning and the framing of the headline with a different framing for the actual points. And for the cart, they do have this free shipping on the top here, which is good. And they have the discount clearly stated. In addition, they have the discount down here as well, which is good. If you have a discount, you should repeat it. Also, they have this timer section here, which is we can only reserve your order for X amount of minutes. This is also really nice because then you're adding some sense of urgency for why you actually need to make a purchase now, which is increasing the motivator of the fear of loss of losing a good deal. So for the fear of losing out on a good deal, I'll rate them A tier in the way they're able to apply that fear, primarily due to how they are giving you so much extra free items and how they are having a really big discount on the products. Now let's move on to the fear of losing out on the benefits for space goods. The first benefit section they have here is the row here with mental performance, sustained energy, amazing taste, which is fair enough. It's a good product form summary. Then they have some bullet points here and then a paragraph with pretty good copy. I'll rate them C-. They are a little below average, I feel like, in the benefits because the vague delivery statement here, which does not give me a shortened feeling of distance to the product, which it should do, as well as they are not addressing me as a customer directly in this context of that I already have the product. If you read the paragraph here, Rainbow Dust combines the coffee you love with functional mushrooms and adaptogens to promote focus, energy, and calm. Great taste without the jitters, anxiety, or crash. The problem here is that they are not addressing me. They should tell me that you get great taste without the jitters, anxiety, or crash. And for the benefit section they have here, which I mean, I don't like too much, but I guess it probably works. They are problem agitating me, which is creating distance from me to the benefits. They're saying you want to get in the zone, you want an instant burst, which is true. Yeah, good point. They are pushing my buttons a little bit on the problems. But if they were to write, Rainbow Dust helps you get in the zone, gives you an instant burst of energy, is the coffee you love without the jitters or anxiety. Because the difference there is that I'm addressing it as if I have already experienced it, which is something they are not doing. They are creating distance from me to the benefits, but they are pushing the problem on me. So this is more of a funnel decision if you want to push on the problem or if you want to more instill the benefits on them. For a benefit section, which this is supposed to be, I do feel like it is better to push the benefits, to instill the benefits on the user instead of talking about the problems, because the problems are a step before the benefits. The benefits is why the person buys the product. The problem is why they want that benefit. But yeah, to sum it up, they are not doing a very good job at making me feel close to the product. And they are also not instilling the benefits on me as if I already have experienced these benefits. This makes it so that I perceive a pretty great distance from me to the product, which then also gives me a distance from me to the benefits. This creates a low fear of losing out on the benefits, which is why I give them the C- rating. It is important for me to note that I am rating the landing pages at surface value without the context of the entire marketing funnel, but even giving them the benefit of the doubt of the marketing funnel being more benefits oriented, I still feel like the landing page does not do it justice for the benefits and the distance to the benefits because of how they phrase things and because of the ambiguous statements when it comes to shipping, etc. Now for the fourth example is JV Coffee. Let's start with the fear of losing money barrier. First of all, they have this review summary with 23,000 reviews, which is very assuring. Also, them being 4.9 out of 5. It does make me immediately consider this as a legitimate brand, which makes me prone to trust what they're going to say when it comes to their guarantees, etc. Then they have this social proof section with some very big prominent reviews, which I love. This is the way to do it. Do not do tiny reviews. Do big, impactful 5-star reviews with big stars. And then they have this video feed section, which I love. I've talked about it in a previous video. You can check that out. But this is also excellent for me to just feed myself with everything I need to make the purchase decision, which is a genius way to basically shorten the entire product page into reviews, which I navigate at my own will, which makes it interactive, increases my time on the site, which then again makes me more likely to stumble upon information which I think is important for me to make a purchasing decision. Moving on, they mentioned the 30-day money-back guarantee here at the bottom, sticky call to action, but they do not have any prominent sections for it. The only thing which comes close is this accordion in their frequently asked questions, which mentions that For any reason, if you're not happy with the product, we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on first orders only. This copy is both good and bad because they are addressing the money-back guarantee and that you can get your money back for any reason, which is good, but they are framing it as if this is something they are offering me and not something I already have. I want to feel like the decision to return will be my choice and that it's not some big application process. I want this to be very clear to me that I do not get a money back guarantee. I actually get my money back. There is a difference. Instead of abstracting it to they are offering a guarantee, they should just remove this abstraction and say it like it is. Get your money back if you are not happy. Then moving on, if you go to the flavor selection, they do have a section at the bottom here with a 30-day money-back guarantee where they say if for any reason you don't like our coffee, you can return it and receive a full refund. This is better. They're not here saying that it's the guarantee itself, but they're saying that you get a full refund, which is what you actually want from the guarantee. So this is better, but I do think this should be available information earlier on, because if your fear of losing money is not removed as much as it can, then you are less inclined to fully take in the important things, which is, do you need the product? Which is what you want the customer focusing on. It's the benefits, what do they stand to gain? So you have to remove this barrier as fast as possible. If you can remove any sense of risk, then they will listen much more to what you have to say and also contemplate it more deeply, which creates a bigger impression. I will give them an A tier on how well they are removing the fear of losing money, mainly because of the overwhelming social proof, which is very good, in addition to them actually stating the guarantees multiple places and also mentioning it without any levels of abstraction in the select flavor step. Considering that it's a pretty low ticket offer, it does make sense to focus more on the social proof than on actual risk reversion in the form of guarantees. I also want to point out just one extra thing. In their checkout, they do have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee part here, which is good. It should be more explicit. They just say that we'll make it right, which you should be more direct. I don't care that you'll make it right. I want my money. It's a good idea to actually extend all the concepts I'm talking about also to the checkout if you can. Then we are moving on to fear of losing a good deal for JV Coffee. Here they rank way higher than they do on the removal of the barrier of fear of losing money. Because immediately you have here save up to 56% with 4 free gifts. And they explicitly mention today, which is very good, because then they tie this offer to today. And it's the same concept I talked about for if you know something about one product, but you don't know that this applies to other products as well, then you're left with only what you know, which is that this product has it. And it's the same thing here with the today statement, because they're not saying it does not apply tomorrow. They are simply saying it applies today. So what do you actually know? You only know that this is valid today, but it very well might be available tomorrow as well. But you don't know that. And this uncertainty is the fear of losing a good deal. Even though this is a tiny detail, this is a very impactful framing. Secondly, they have order by January 11th. For me right now, that's today. So they keep playing today regarding the offer for guaranteed free gifts. So again, they're using the exact same strategy here. They're not saying this does not apply tomorrow. They are simply saying this applies today. So the only thing you know is that you will get these free gifts and this incredible offer today. You don't know you get this tomorrow. This increases the fear of loss motivator of losing out on a good deal. Moving further down, we have these 4 free included products. They have a free booklet, free shipping, a free magic spoon, and a free mystery gift. And what is important here is the value and that they are free now. So you get this booklet for $9.95 for free, and they are actually listing their free shipping as a pre-included product, which is actually genius, because instead of just writing free shipping, you're actually giving the shipping a physical representation and assigning it a value. This makes it less abstract and easier to see that you're actually getting this for free, because you can't feel like you get something if you can't perceive it. But since they use this shipping box and the value assigned to it, then you feel like you're getting another product for free. So this is actually a genius way to show your free shipping in a way which will benefit your conversion rate instead of just writing free shipping included. So I would steal this from JV if I were you. And next they have the free magic spoon for $9.95, which is half the price of Space Goods a spoon. So if you want a good metal spoon, go to JV instead of Space Goods. And next up they have a free mystery gift with $29.95 original value. And I am assuming here that this mystery gift contains either some free taste tests of new flavors or something which is very low in JV production cost. So they probably have a 90-95% margin on this mystery gift if it were sold for $29.95. but since it's their mystery gift, they can give it that price. Now we have gone to the select flavor stage after you click the call to action on the landing page. And here they immediately instill a high fear of losing out on a good offer with this section. They do have an estimated sellout date here, which is 3 days from now. They also have the repetition of the New Year special, big savings and free gifts, but they should here actually clarify that this applies today, similarly to how they did earlier on the landing page, but that's just a small detail. It's way more important to add additional angles of attack rather than repeat the same ones, even though repetition is good. Adding new ones is most impactful. So here they have this new estimated sellout date, which we have not seen yet, which adds a layer of impact. And at the bottom, they repeat the free included products, as well as your saving and also gifts unlocked. This one should probably be bigger, more prominent, because the gifts unlock here is a new angle of attack they have not used earlier, and is a very good way of making the customer feel like they already have this offer. They have these 4 gifts unlocked. This means that they were locked at some point, but now they have it unlocked. So this just makes them feel way more ownership to the free products, which makes them more scared to lose them. For the fear of loss motivator of losing out on a good deal, I will rate JV Coffee's landing page S tier because of all the smart angles of attack they have there, and also how effective they are at removing the abstraction to make it feel like a more targeted offer. And then lastly, for JV, we have the fear of losing the product benefits. Firstly, they have this image with better coffee, no sugar, low calorie, 10+ flavors. In my opinion, these are not very impactful benefits because regular black coffee does not usually have sugar or calories. But I'm guessing that the angle they're going for is that it's delicious coffee, not just coffee, but it's delicious coffee with flavoring and no sugar added, which is a good selling point. Without having done too much research, I feel like comparing JV to gourmet coffee would be a very good idea here instead of just better coffee, gourmet coffee. Because if you were to imagine gourmet coffee with flavor added, you would probably assume that they're using some syrup or some fancy stuff to make it taste better. But as long as these things added are not with sugar, then this is a big benefit. So personally, it would be really interesting to test the gourmet angle for JV. And then going down the product form, they do not have any benefits here until we get to the first section here, which delicious coffee in literally seconds, faster than instant, better tasting than gourmet. Okay, so there they actually have the gourmet angle. I think it could be cool to test this a bit earlier and more prominently, but I'm hoping they are testing these things. And easier than coffee pods. So this is a pretty effective benefit statement. It cuts right to the chase and compares it to other alternatives and why it's superior, with a very high perceived likeliness of achievement, with it being in literally seconds, easier, better, faster, with a very nice illustration here. Then they move on to incredibly convenient, ultra versatile, ultra affordable, ethically sourced, and all these 4 points are very good, and they have a very good follow-up paragraph under them. And then very effective social proof, quick, easy, delicious, explaining the mechanism of action, and then this amazing review section. They have no additional angles of attack in the select a flavor stage. So for the fear of losing out on product benefits, I'll probably rate them a B-. The thing that drags them way up is the UGC video feed at the bottom of the page, and also the social proof sections, in addition to, of course, the benefit sections. But what drags them down is that I still feel there is a very high distance from me to the benefits I'm promised. Because for most sections, they are addressing from JV as a brand and not from my perspective as a customer using the product. And also they do not have any delivery estimates here on the landing page, which makes me feel like I'm very close to actually having the product in hand, as well as a pretty generic benefit angle, in my opinion, where they're going for better coffee, but not really anchoring themselves as premium or gourmet very clearly, or like barista grade coffee at home instantly or something like that. So it drags them down that the angle is a bit generic and not very bold. I really hope you have gained a lot of value watching the video this far. I know I promised 6 examples, but the video has taken a bit longer to record than expected. So I will jump into the next example now, the 5th one, but I won't include any 6th example simply because of time. It is getting late. So I hope you appreciate that I am diving deep into these examples instead of giving you more examples of lower quality. The 5th and last example is Freebird, and I will start with getting into the fear of losing money. To start with, they have a very prominent, and I love that they use a big and bold font size for the review summary at the top here, it's very nice. Then immediately under they have get an easier shave or your money back, which is fantastic. They are not saying to me they have a guarantee. They're saying get your money back. And this is a very, very important distinction. So what they have already accomplished here now is they have disarmed me because I now trust that this is a legitimate brand considering the reviews. And I also now expect to be able to get my money back if I do not get the promised benefits. So my framing now is completely different when I'm going to go through the rest of their page, because essentially now I'm focusing more on what are the benefits and not will I get the benefits. I talked about this earlier. You want to remove the barrier as fast as possible and get it out the way to enable the user to actually take in the rest of your copy and the rest of the sections on your page, which are focused on what they are actually getting in a form of value from the product. Moving down, they mentioned the 30-day risk-free trial here in the bullet points in the product form. Then they follow it up with these two sections. And now I have to give my hat off to Freebird because they are essentially now executing in practice everything I recommended earlier in the video. They are explicitly saying when you will get the product. They're not even saying a time range. They're saying the exact date, which makes it super specific for me to start imagining when would I get the product? Oh, I'm getting it on Tuesday. Then I would think, am I doing anything on Tuesday? And that I can enjoy the benefits already on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. Like, this is amazing because it makes me feel way closer to the product because it's not abstract, it's specific. I know when it will come. And under that, they have an elaboration on their guarantee, which says, try it risk-free for 30 days. If you're not totally in love with the product, we will refund you 100%. I mean, I am super impressed. I love this because they are leaving no room for doubt. They are saying if you're not totally in love, you will get your money back and it's 100% refund, which are usually things people can be skeptic to because of past experiences. That you get your money back, but it's only a partial refund, or they take a little cut, and that you have to meet all the conditions for the refund. But here, they're removing all of that skepticism with saying exactly how it is and making it super clear and concise for me as a user to know how it will play out if I don't like the product. So already here, I feel like they have essentially diffused any fear I have of losing my money simply due to the guarantee and to the legitimacy. But let's keep going. So next we see they even have another specific section addressing the guarantee, 100% risk-free, 60-day trial. So first of all, this is contradicting what they are saying in the product form. In a product form, they are saying 30-day money-back guarantee. Here, they're saying 60-day, which is huge. 60 days is way better than 30. 30 is almost expected. So this is obviously just an error on their part, but this is a good reminder for you to always check your entire website if you make any changes. Because the last thing you want to do is you want to give the guarantee and leave the customer guessing if it's 30 or 60 days. That's horrendous for the conversion rate. So they better fix that. But if we're assuming that it's 60 and they have that congruent in the top as well, this is excellent because they are repeating it and giving it at the bottom of the page and giving one more angle of attack for the guarantee. They're saying if it doesn't exceed your expectations, we will refund your purchase, no questions asked. So essentially, these two elaborations they have on the guarantee are both excellent, but they have both. For the other brands, they should step their game up because Freebird has really nailed removing the barrier or fear of losing money. And one more thing in addition to that, they also couple it with this image, which is a semi-POV unboxing of the bundle. And this reduces the perceived distance because it's almost as if you are unboxing it. And this is actually playing into the fear of losing the product benefits. It's a sum of how close you feel to the product ownership and the benefits of said product. But anyways, that's a side tangent. Let's keep going. Then they have this review testimonial slider, which is also excellent. 30,900 reviews, perfect, a lot of testimonials, great stuff. And then they even repeat the social proof at the bottom of a comparison section. I have to be honest, Freebird has done a really good job here. Oh no. But then unfortunately they have yet another contradicting risk reversion section. They better fix that. But here they are adding an additional angle of attack, which is the warranty. So it's not just a guarantee anymore. They are now even adding a warranty, which is a lifetime warranty, and then followed with a call to action. When it comes to risk reversion, I would really take inspiration from Freebird and try to copy or at least take some inspiration from them on your own website, because this is excellent work if we isolate out the risk reversion sections. And now moving on to the fear of losing a good deal. So to start with, they have a really prominent badge here, which summarizes their offer, up to 60% off plus free gifts. Excellent, they have now intrigued me, and now I want to know what the free gifts are. So now I'm going to scroll further down, and also they have a very good specificity in this statement. They have New Year sale, best prices of the year. So not only are they targeting the offer to New Year's, they're also amplifying it by saying these are the best prices of the year. This leaves no room for doubt that this price and this offer is probably as best as it's gonna get this year. And what is the consequence of that? Me as a user, I now feel like I have to act with haste and do this purchase pretty quickly if I am interested in the product. Because best price of the year, what more can I ask for? And I also feel like it might expire because of the New Year specificity. Then moving on, they have this saved badge here, which is good. And also they have this bundle where you see it includes a Flex Series shaving kit. The catch here is that they are listing one item as if this is only if you just skim past this, you would think it's listing only the shaver. But then you scroll down. So first of all, this is actually genius on Freebird's part. They're first adding only one item to the bundle, and then they are giving you accessories with a price tag. But then if you keep scrolling, you're thinking, no, I don't want these accessories, expensive, blah, blah. Then they are showing you everything you get for free. And it exceeds your expectations because, as I mentioned earlier, you want to anchor as much as possible to a high price tag, and then you want to introduce the discount or the free products or the offer. And they're doing that to a degree here. They're showing me one product and then directly showing me accessories which cost money, which sets my expectations on, okay, this is the price for the shaver, and then these accessories cost extra, $10, $20, okay. And then I scroll past and I see, boom, here I get $60 worth of accessories for free. I was starting to anchor the price to only getting the shaver. So adding these now is way more efficient than adding these together with the shaver in the start here. This is a bit hard to execute, but I would really recommend trying to do something similar, at least test it. Then further amplifying this, they have everything you get in the kit, which is the shaver, rotary blade, and USB charging cable. But then you see suddenly so many free gifts with green free signs. This is brilliant because this just feels like you are getting so many things of high value for free. And as I mentioned, humans love getting things, as many as possible. So by listing it out in this manner, they are really amplifying the perceived value of the offer. Then further down, they have a comparison section where they are also including these free added gifts. So they are really maxing the perceived value of the free gifts in the bundle, which it almost drowns out the price because you are reminded how much you're getting for free, and here also the value of them. And then they are comparing it to competitors where you get none of these. So this is excellent work from Freebird on creating a high value of the offer. But what I am missing somewhat is their ability to make me fear losing this offer. So the offer is great, but I don't have too much of a sense that I am gonna lose this offer. Of course, the part which does make me fear it a bit is the first New Year sale, best prices of the year, but I'm not understanding why they don't have a follow-up on that. They don't have any countdown, they don't have any statements regarding the limit of this offer, and they are not being specific by saying today or this week or any form of sense of expiration or limitation to the offer. So the offer is great, but I will rate them an A- on the actual fear of losing this offer. On the fear of losing money, I am giving them an S+ tier. This is excellent work on diffusing the barrier of any form of skepticism and being super clear and concise in the guarantees, many angles of attack. Excellent job. Lastly, I will rate them on the fear of losing the product benefits. So to begin with, we have a before and after in the product media gallery, which is good. And then we have very clear statements of benefits in the summary. zero nicks or cuts ever again. And again, hats off to Freebird for how specific they are being. They leave no room for doubt. And this is something you should follow as well on your ecom store. You should leave no room for misunderstanding or interpretation in the way that Freebird is doing it. No ingrown hairs or razor bumps. Convenient and easy to use, safe to shave, dry or wet. All very impactful benefits, very different benefits, which is a good summary. And then one very important thing here is that they are saying discover everything inside your Flex Series kit. And this assigns the kit to me. This makes me close the distance from me to the product, which then further enhances the sense of losing the product benefits, since I am now considering the product more and more closer to myself, which means that the benefits are also closer. So this is a small distinction, but it's a very impactful thing to do. Always phrase it as they already own it. And then they have their first main benefit section. Effortlessly achieve a perfect head shave in just 90 seconds, hassle-free. And then step 1, trim longer hairs down to stubble. Prepare your head. Step 2, pick your best shaving method. Choose how you prefer to shave, dry with gel or even in the shower. It's very subtle, but what they're doing here is they're making me imagine using the product and also giving me all of the choices and luxuries I get from this product. This might seem abstract, but this is a very fundamental thing they are doing. And this is something you also really want to do. You're basically just creating a story of how I am using this product on my everyday life to make it better. Next one, use the correct shaving technique. Use small circular to let the shaver do the work. Easy, sounds very convenient. Effortlessly rinse and clean up. Open the blade and rinse it under water to remove hair and debris. So basically just a short story explaining me all the luxuries and options I'm getting, all the choices I get, and also just how incredibly simple and easy it's gonna make my life. And then they list a sort of mix between the benefits and comparison section. Shave faster and save time. And oh, I love this sentence. That's right, 1.5 minutes and you're out the door looking sharp. This is the dream outcome. No time spent shaving, but looking sharp going out the door. So you are essentially just taking me through a normal day in my life, but where I am out the door in 1.5 minutes looking sharp, compared to maybe spending 10 minutes shaving, foaming, everything. So you're just replacing my original routine with my new improved routine with the product. But the key here is that they are basically telling it as a story of your everyday actions, your everyday habits, and how it turns out for you to look sharp going out the door with no time hassle. Then they are mentioning it is as smooth as if you'd used a blade, but without the struggle. So they are essentially just getting you through your daily routine using a blade, but now removing all the problems you have and giving you the timeline where everything is perfect by comparing it with removing every problem from the timeline you are in currently. And the more they get you in this new timeline where everything is better, the more you will fear losing this way of living. Because if this version is so great, you don't want to go back to this one. Then moving down, they have a testimonial UGC slider section with people who I would relate to if I were in the market for this product, explaining their experiences and how much better their life is now using this, further amplifying the timeline where you have this product. And then they have an authority section trusted by more than 1 million head shavers, putting emphasis on the benefits people are experiencing and how many of them actually experience this. So 9 out of 10 would recommend, 9 out of 10 reported a significant reduction in shaving time, finishing their shave in under 2 minutes. So they are now creating an anchor for you to compare your existing shaving time to. So if you're using 5, 6, 7 minutes shaving, you see now that 90% are actually shaving in under 2 minutes in this alternate timeline, and that 9 out of 10 experienced zero nicks, cuts, or irritation, which is also a highly desirable outcome. And the very important thing to note here is that they are focusing on the positive, the gain for their customers and not the loss. This is an opposite example of what we talked about for Woofs. In their guarantee section, they mentioned that less than 1% returned their items. The problem is that they were focusing on customers which are not happy. But Freebird here, on the other hand, is maximizing the focus on people which are very happy and have a better life thanks to the product. I would advise to follow the example of Freebird here and not of Woofs when it comes to if you should focus on the people who have gained or how few people have not gained, if that makes sense. It might feel smart to do because it's a kind of a new angle and a new way of writing it, which is a bit novel. But in my opinion, it is a bad way of framing the focus of the user which is on your page. I was referring now to the Woofs example. So Freebird, on the other hand, is a very good example of what to do. To summarize, I will give Freebird an A+ in their ability to instill fear of losing the product benefits. And the reason I rank them A+ is mainly due to how fundamentally good they were at storytelling and placing me in this improved and better timeline. And this ties pretty much the whole video together, because the point of making these fears of losses is by creating a division in the way people are living now and the way they want to live using your product. And this is the distance I'm referring to. If you have a point in the middle and you have their existing life and you have their new life with your product, how close are you able to get them to feel the new life with your product? This is the distance I have been talking about. I sincerely hope you have gained a lot of value which you can apply immediately to your online store from watching this video. And I would advise you to maybe watch it again or rewatch certain steps, because the details here are the key. If you're not making several changes to your website after watching this video, you either have a god tier conversion rate or you're losing out on free money. So get it implemented to make 2025 your best year yet. And thank you for watching this video.